Okay, so normally I don't get stirred up about a whole lot of things because I like to choose my battles, but there was something that I came across a little bit ago on my newsfeed on my Facebook profile that made me highly, highly offended. And if anybody here has watched the presidential debate from the other evening, you'll probably know what I'm referring to. I had read this article that got shared on my wall where Rick Santorum had apparently compared Kim Davis to one of the victims of the Columbine shooting. And if you read the article or have seen the debate, you can pretty much infer that he's referring to Cassie Bernall. Now, he basically had made the comparison stating that Kim Davis, because basically saying she's been being persecuted because of her faith, and that in that regard he compared her to Cassie Bernall, who was also shot because she was killed for her faith. Now, I can tell you that after I shared that article on my wall, all my Columbine friends on Facebook, they were all just as offended as I was. I mean, they were completely livid, and for very good reason. I did write a Facebook PM to Mr. Santorum's Facebook page, which I don't expect he will ever read, let alone reply to. But the gist of the message was pretty much this. I told him that, as a library survivor myself, that I was highly, highly offended by this comparison, because not only is the story about Cassie untrue, she was never asked about whether she believed in God or anything like that. It was actually Valine Schnurr who was asked that, and that she is alive and well. And I also said in this message that not only is Kim Davis alive and well, but the fact that she's being compared to a Columbine victim is also downright insulting, because Miss Davis never had to hide under a table while everyone got shot around her. She never has been held at gunpoint at any point in her life. And I can tell you, like I said, as a library survivor myself, you don't want to experience the feeling of having everyone within 10 feet of you being shot. It's a downright terrifying sensation, and the fact that she's being compared to somebody who's killed in the library, who isn't even alive to tell her side of the story, it's just degrading to all of us who survived, all of us who were there. And frankly, I think that Mr. Santorum owes everybody in the Columbine community an apology, because everyone over here on my end here is just downright livid. And I think that, I know he'd probably say anything to get attention, and I imagine he's an educated person. He probably knows full well the story about Cassie isn't true, but again, he'll say anything to get in the headlines, and in this instance, it did work. But I also do think that just because it's been 16 years doesn't mean there's not anybody around who wasn't there at the time. There's still thousands of us who are still around, and thousands of us who are downright offended by his comparison of Kim Davis to Cassie. Now, Mr. Santorum, I would hope you have a chance to watch this, and if you are, or get a chance to read my PM to you on Facebook, I do think you owe the Columbine community an apology. And frankly, I will not rest until I see that happen. I mean, I don't want you to say that you apologize, that I may have felt offended by what you said. I want a genuine apology to all of us here. And that's pretty much where I'm going to leave off at. So I do hope you see this, Mr. Santorum, and I hope you take into consideration that some of us here at Columbine did survive the library, like myself, and that the comparison was a highly undue and offensive one to make.